Hi, hello Danny. Thank you very much for accepting my invite to discuss with me the opportunities and challenges surrounding tokenization in the financial industry. Well, it really hasn't been long since we met in June in Paris. I still remember I saw the final stage of preparation for the Paris Olympic Games. And now the Games have concluded successfully, and I would like to congratulate Paris on staging a fabulous event. Incidentally, after borrowing a French word to name our latest tokenization initiative, Project Ensemble, I hope I'm pronouncing it in a passable manner. The French May Festival in Hong Kong, our Crossborder collaboration project in June, and also our best ever Olympic Games performance by Hong Kong athletes in Paris. I think it has been quite a year of collaboration and friendship between Paris and Hong Kong. So really thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Howard. Indeed, it has been a fruitful year for our friendship and collaboration, as you highlighted it, and really was great to have you in Paris last June, and I'm delighted that your athletes had a successful stay during the Olympics. Ensemble, as we say in French, with all the world sport community.
I really want to thank you for the team to working with us on the successful cross-border PVP payment trial, and also with the Ensemble Sandbox and DL3S in August. Collaboration is really crucial to advancing the tokenization market, which is why it is so central to our project Ensemble. In a recent speech reported by the BIS, you described the tokenization of financial services as a transformative ecosystem that is quietly emerging. We are observing a similar trend that have here in Hong Kong, where both established firms and emerging companies are playing significant progresses in this field. So what we see is that tokenization is not only has the potential to deliver improved settlement efficiency and system reliability from a financial infrastructure perspective, but it could also create new business and investment opportunities through fractionalization, as well as provide more competitive pricing, lower costs, and wider array of services for consumers, and thanks to blockchain and smart contract technologies. So in your view, what do you see as the main benefits of tokenization, and what are the low-hanging fruits that the industry can seize at this moment?
Well, it has been one of the goals of our program of experiments that we started in 2020 to assess concretely the benefits we could collectively draw from tokenization, especially in clearing and settlement processes, given our mandate to ensure that they are safe and to promote their efficiency. In a report we published last year, we shared the lessons learned from our experiments so far since we launched them in 2020. And maybe to be brief, let me highlight two major benefits we could confirm of DLT-based tokenization for the financial industry. First benefit I would stress is improved transparency compared to centralized ledgers. DLT provides easy access to data and transaction records, as it is not necessary to request access from a third-party record keeper. That's for first benefit. Second, and importantly, benefit improved operational efficiency and associated cost savings through automation of what are today's rather complex transaction processes, in particular in OTC markets, and by gating the whole ecosystem for a given market segment on the same DLT platform. This results in less need for reconciliation and a leaner stress-through processing. So I would stress these two benefits that we could really measure, see concretely through our experiments.
Now, about the challenges of tokenization, having explored the benefits, it's now time to address the challenges that we are facing. Now, in Hong Kong, the main challenge can be summed up in one word: interoperability. The tokenization ecosystem mentioned earlier, driven by both established firms and startups, is developing a variety of solutions and platforms. Now, how for these solutions to scale effectively, interoperability is really essential. And for example, executing interbank transfer with tokenized deposit from different commercial banks is quite challenging. Likewise, varying technical standards among digital asset platforms and different settlement means, such as tokenized deposit issued by commercial banks, significantly raise operational costs within the ecosystem and slow down the adoption of tokenization. So in your opinion, what are the main challenges that really need to be addressed to ensure that we can reap the benefits of tokenization? And tokenization initiative in Hong Kong is really facing similar issues. That's why we have the ensemble sandbox.
I think it's to say that so far, in many jurisdictions, tokenization remains nascent, still mostly a topic for projects and experiments because of a number of factors that are obstacles that prevent its wide adoption and the reaping of its benefits. And I fully agree with you that an important one is the lack of interoperability among DLT platforms and between these platforms and traditional financial infrastructure. We also have that issue in Europe. But there are others, and an important one I see is the availability of trusted settlement assets and efficient associated processes, including in central bank money. So let me note here that we as a central bank can contribute to lift some of those obstacles, and in particular the two ones I was mentioning, interoperability and the settlement asset. And a significant part of our experiments is actually targeted at those issues to test possible solutions. And among them, we believe that the provision of central bank money in tokenized form on DLT, be it a shared DLT with market participants or our own, is a very promising perspective.
Now, we have discussed both the opportunities and challenges of tokenization. Perhaps we can now examine how central banks ourselves are addressing these issues to foster the responsible growth of the tokenization market. Now, in Hong Kong, we have been investigating tokenization from various angles for some time already, and through different initiatives like the e-Hong Kong Dollar Project, Dynamo, and Genesis. We've also assisted the government with 2 tokenized green bond issuance in 2023 and 2024, which had attracted significant interest internationally. Just in March this year, we also launched a Project Ensemble, as I mentioned earlier. Now, this latest initiative is aimed at fostering the sustainable development of the tokenization market in Hong Kong. And through this project, we are exploring an innovative financial market infrastructure designed to facilitate the seamless interbank settlement of tokenized money, no matter whether it's through wholesale CBDC or other means. Now, in May, we also established the Ensemble Architecture Community, which brings together a diverse range of industry representatives, including regulators, international organizations, academia, local and multinational banks, as well as the key players in the digital asset and technology sectors. Now, this architecture community is really key to developing industry standards and the design of the Ensemble Sandbox. I hope that this sandbox is now facilitating a series of experiments on tokenization use cases, engaging user and participants across forming areas, namely fixed income and investment funds, liquidity management, and green and sustainable financial and trade and supply chain finances. Now, in France, what has been your approach? And could you also share some of your recent initiatives or future development in support of the tokenization of finance with us?
Thanks for this question. With that, let me say, to put our experiments into perspective, that at the Banque de France, we had very early the conviction that we needed first to understand better DLT technologies in testing them, which led us to develop our own DLT, the so-called DL3S and Hyperledger fabric, and second, to target our experiments on complex clearing and settlement processes where tokenization could potentially bring significant benefits, but where obstacles were significant, meaning DVP and PVP processes, including with a cross-border dimension, and we had a cooperation on that front. That is what we did, and those experiments were carried out under 3 possible operational models. An interoperability model with the cash leg on our DLT, interoperated with another DLT hosting the other leg of the transaction. Second model, an integration model with all the legs of the transactions on our DLT. And the third model, a distribution model with distribution of CBDC on a third-party DLT with a bridge. These experiments we have learned a lot from them, but first they have helped us enhance our own DLT, DL3S, with successive technological building blocks, enabling us, for example, to optimize liquidity management via so-called auto-collateralization that specialists know very well, or partial payment. So where we are now, we are at a stage, and it is an important priority for us, where we have put our technology and experience at the service of the Eurosystem by offering our DLT, the L3S, as a support for central bank money, cash settlement of tokenized assets, issuance, and trading, as part of the Eurosystem current exploratory work on settlement solutions in central bank money. So that's really an important work that is underway, that we are contributing to. It was launched at the end of 2023, and I'm happy to say that our solution has attracted a lot of interest from many market players, and sign of this interest is that we are conducting 19 proof of concept and trials this year at the Banque de France, so with market participants. I must say that this solution is supported, and maybe it's part of its attraction also, by a unique legal framework, since in France, market participants benefit from a blockchain ordinance, which allows financial instruments to be registered on a DLT, and in Europe, for other players in other jurisdictions, they can benefit from the European pilot regime, which is a derogation that allows trading platform and settlement system operators to use DLT platforms in real life. So there are a number of initiatives underway that we are leading, but an important one is really to within the Eurosystem experiment of a settlement solution in central bank money with our own option on the DLT to provide settlement in central bank money.
Well, if I may, perhaps we can dig a little bit deeper into the details of the tokenization of finance. Now, our project in Hong Kong reviewed that to fully harness the advantages of tokenization, both assets and settlement mechanism must be operated on DLT system to facilitate the entire transaction life cycle. Now, let's begin with this asset side. Now, in Ensemble, we are examining use cases that encompass both traditional financial assets like repo, money market funds, and bonds, as well as what we call real-world assets such as EV charging stations, carbon credits, and electronic bills of lading. So, what types of tokenized assets are you investigating in France? Do you think tokenization can create new business opportunities for some asset classes, or what asset classes do you believe would benefit the most from tokenization?
As many stakeholders are exploring the tokenization of a variety of asset classes, and they show, for instance, that tokenization can create business opportunities, especially for traditionally illiquid assets like real estate and trade finance instruments, by enhancing liquidity, accessibility, and operational efficiency. The use cases we looked at the Banque de France mainly concern the tokenization of financial instruments. And our experiments have focused on the management of the entire life cycle of a security on DLT repos, and on the interest of DLT for certain type of assets, in particular instruments, and I already mentioned that, that are currently traded over the counter, such as commercial papers, as well as for instruments that could benefit from greater transparency, such as green bonds or fund units, like I understand you looked into also in Hong Kong. We have also looked at payment use cases where CBDC could be used to process margin calls. In our experiments with the CBOE, for example, or provide interbank settlement for payments made in tokenized deposits, as we have done with the Association of Italian Banks, both in the context of the Eurosystem exploratory work. So there are many asset classes that could be candidate for business opportunities. And I must say, maybe to conclude on that point, that it will be to market participants and market forces to really decide which will really take off or will really translate in business opportunities. But there are a number of candidates for that, as far as I can see.
A collaboration probably is the key to success, and this is the heart of the project ensemble. This is especially true for use cases that are cross-border in nature, like carbon credits or trade finance. Now, for instance, carbon credits, we are now looking to partner with credit issuers and credit buyers in different jurisdictions to test end-to-end tokenization use cases. This is also the case for our electronic bill of lading use case to facilitate financing for SMEs. So what are your views on the application of tokenization in a cross-border setting, in particular for cross-border payments?
Like you, I believe that DLT can open up new opportunities for improving cross-border transaction, which is a G20 priority, and DLT indeed has the potential to address a number of frictions impacting cross-border payments in terms of costs, delays, and transparency in particular. And Banque de France experiments have shown that associated with wholesale CBDC's arrangements, they could maybe bring to benefit in optimizing correspondent banking models by reducing the number of intermediaries that we face currently, thanks to multi-currency wallets and processing times, and second, enhance the security and flexibility of cross-border settlements by offering transaction traceability and reducing the need for reconciliation. Therefore, by offering wholesale CBDC on DLTs, central banks could contribute to the completion of public policy objectives in cross-border payments. However, maybe a lesson that we drew so far from what we have done is that central banks need to maintain control over their DLT for the issuance of wholesale CBDC to safeguard their monetary sovereignty. This is likely to result in the coexistence of multiple wholesale CBDC DLT on a global scale. to manage one important dimension in cross-border transaction and is the management of FX transactions, which are associated to cross-border, cross-currency transactions. And the Banque de France has investigated that issue with the conduct of a number of experiments with the BIS in particular to explore the potential of liquidity pools. And to do this, we have drawn on innovation coming from the DeFi ecosystem, the decentralized finance ecosystem, and especially the automated market maker, which is a facility that has been developed in that context. And we have been developing one and testing it for some years, especially with a project called Mariana, and which enables the management of decentralized foreign exchange transaction. This exploration of FX transaction is being continued with another project, which is called Rialto, to offer an FX solution for interconnected fast payments, which is an area where there is a lot of developments currently. And we intend to do more. Under the aegis of the BIS, in the Agora project, we will explore how to integrate seamlessly a commercial bank tokenized deposit with a wholesale CBDC for cross-border payments. And as a contribution to the enhancements of cross-border payments, the Banque de France is also working on smart contracts to facilitate compliance checks, which is an important also dimension of the frictions that we need to address. So, in a nutshell, there are many facets that can improve, that we can improve for cross-border payments, making use of new technologies, and we are exploring together some of those facets, and that there is a wide range of issues that could be part of collaboration, I mean, among us and among central banks more widely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Danny. I think this is really a very impressive list of projects, and that also illustrate the progressiveness of the Banque de France in the digital space, and we really hope that we will continue to work together on more of these different various projects. Conclude our chat with a topic that's always at the heart of central bank, which is money. So we have heard from many industry participants that the tokenization process or the tokenization idea can work only if they have a safe and reliable and secure means on DLT system to settle tokenized asset transactions. Now in Hong Kong, we have identified three main candidates to act as a settlement means on DLT, which are CBDCs, stablecoins, and tokenized deposits. Now, currently, we see a combination of tokenized deposit and wholesale CBDC as one of the, I would say, easiest and fastest option to deliver to market. And this is why we have chosen it for our first round of experiment in the Ensemble Sandbox. Now, this sandbox also accommodates retail CBDC, of course, and stablecoin, which we may explore further down the road. Now, from your perspective, do you share this view that a DLT-based settlement mechanism is crucial for the successful adoption of tokenization? And what would be your preferred settlement means for tokenized asset transactions?
This is also what we are hearing in Europe, and the industry wants a DLT-based settlement mechanism because it would simply avoid having to go back to legacy systems that do not allow to take the full advantage of the added value of DLTs and that depend on restrictive logics such as operating hours. As a central banker, my objective is to work towards preserving financial stability, and therefore, to answer your question about my preferred settlement asset, I think the objective is to preserve the dominant role that central bank money plays in the wholesale transactions space, which I think is warranted really from a financial stability perspective. And this is why we have launched the exploratory work with the Eurosystem that I mentioned earlier. We are currently testing 3 solutions for settling tokenized assets in central bank money. The CBDC solution that we are at the Banque de France proposing, and 2 payment triggering solutions in the conventional target services payment system, which are proposed by our colleagues from the Bundesbank and Banca d'Italia. To find out how the Eurosystem intends to move forward in developing a complete solution and rolling it out, I invite you to stay tuned in 2025 when the ECB publishes the results of the exploratory work I described.
Well, certainly I will stay tuned. Now, this is such an interesting topic. I believe we can go on and on, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. Now, I would like to thank you once again for joining me today. I truly enjoyed our conversation and your insightful remarks. Here, perhaps I would have to say au revoir and for the time being, but we will soon have another rendezvous and during Hong Kong FinTech Week. So I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much, Howard. Really appreciated our chat, and we could go on for a number of interesting topics. So goodbye and Saitia. I really look forward to prolonging our discussion at any occasion.
Same here. So see you again soon.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.